reveal the secrets of your body. You feel perfect when you want me now. I don't wanna leave you now. Yeah. Morning, we saw the night turn into morning. Guess I gotta go right now. 10 more minutes turn into an hour. Yeah. Wish I could stop the hands of time and lay right here for life. Tell the truth, they can love you like I do, and we both know that. So wait until I'm back. Yeah. Overtime, I've been working overtime, and when I'm done with that, I'ma be right back, yeah. Oh man, I don't wanna waste this moment. Lose myself when I'm inside of you. I might wipe you, I might make the move. Oh, while we're laying here, tied up in the sheets, look me in my eyes, say it's everything you need. Girl, it's true. We can rendezvous on the beach in Malibu. Wish I could stop the hands of time and lay right here for life. Tell the truth, they can love you like I do, and we both know that. So wait until I'm back. Yeah. Overtime, I've been working overtime, and when I'm done with that, I'ma be right back, yeah. Tell the truth, like it like I do. We both know that. So I'ma be right back. Laying next to you, I got a flight in the morning. Got me questioning what I think is important. I can't even lie, think of you when I'm with her. Look me in my eye, tell me that you feel different. Drove 2 hours just to stay the night with you. Haven't seen you in a year, but I still get you. Hurts to see you laugh, cause I know I miss that. How could I forget that? You made me feel alive. Forget the mother, I would put them to the side. Girls in LA couldn't be more dry. You're so money, baby, you ain't even have to try. Now I'm running with you round these lessons. See those in your dorm, we're dancing. It's a 3:15, saying everything we mean. Girl, it's hard to see me go so fast, yeah, I get that. Times that we have so wild, can't forget that. Now I'm on a flight in my fears, thinking about you. Hope you know you far, anyone who doubts you. Life out in Cali has been great, I'm committed. You the only thing that makes me wish things were different. I might fly you out, get you on a one-way, if I had it my way. Girl, you be by my side. Forget the mother, I would put them to the side. Girls in LA couldn't be more dry. You're so money, baby, you ain't even have to try. Now I'm running with you round these lessons. See those in your dorm, we're dancing. It's a 3:15, saying everything we mean. Maybe I'm stuck in the past, girl, not willing to let it all go. You can't ignore the fact, baby, you made me feel alive. The mother, I would put them to the side. So real, baby, look me in my eyes. There's so money, baby, you ain't even have to try. Now I'm running with you round these lessons. See those in your dorm, we're dancing. It's a 2, 3, 4. Hands in your body, I'm grabbing your ass, enjoying the moment cause life moved too fast. I'm looking forward, ignoring the past. These are the times that we'll laugh looking back. I'm getting lucky like coins in a well. Goodbye to my haters, I'm wishing you well. This is my aim and if you couldn't tell, this is our life and we living it well. Late nights in the city causing hell. Burn this bitch into the ground, oh well. For all we got tonight, let's do this right. Let's do this right. Let's go to paradise. This shit be like Friday nights. This shit made me feel alive. I feel like we in paradise. Paradise. Don't know if it's a drink I pour, but I swear I've never loved you more. Make you right here, I come alive. One more hit and we can fly. This shit feel like paradise. I'm feeling it, my head's where the ceiling is. This energy turns nice into memory. Count up the bands, he been working all summer. Ex didn't know what he had, what a bummer. Insecure people turn to insecure lovers, but my drink is almost out and I'm about to pour another. Just let it out. The night has just begun, we on a level now. If I get too fucked up, promise you'll hold me down. Yeah, this that shit you can't deny. This that shit you feel inside. It's our life, our time, we living well. Late nights in the city causing hell. Burn this bitch into the ground, oh well. For all we got tonight, let's do this right. Let's do this right. Let's go to paradise. This shit be like Friday nights. This shit made me feel alive. I feel like we in paradise. 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 Oh yeah. Don't know if it's a drink I pour, but I swear I've never loved you more. Make you right here, I come alive. One more hit and we can fly. This shit feel like too young to see tomorrow, too young to know it hurts. Found love in empty bottles, I guess we'll never learn. So just lay with me late till the morning. Cause I'm high and you high and together we soaring. And if I go too hard, pray the Lord my soul to take. I've been up all night, till tomorrow wake away. I think we went too far, the ones they couldn't say. Inside of you I found faith. I apologize if I say anything I do mean. Cause I've been drinking too much, faded off the gasoline. I'm just trying to live life, put on for my family. That's on everything. God, we could do anything. Cause baby, we are too young to see tomorrow, too young to know it hurts. Found love in empty bottles, I guess we'll never learn. So just lay with me late till the morning. Cause I'm high and you high and together we soaring. And if I go too hard, pray the Lord my soul to take. You're here, I'm here, tell me this isn't fate. You should know you could go anywhere you wanna be. Take my hand to your fantasy, yeah. I'm still on your Netflix. Girl, I know you love me, even though your parents, they don't trust me. They probably alright though. I know I'm in no reply to all your texts. Girl, I do you mad cold, like you're just dying to drive, but you can't find the keys now. Looking for God, put you down on your knees. I'm all that you want, but not what you need. Girl, why? Tell me, why do you still love me? Why do you love me? You know you shouldn't love me. Yeah, you still love me. All your friends tell you they hate me. Got up shady. Couple weeks ago they were inside my sheets naked. Club so you can Snapchat to snap that. I know that you do that, it's just hoping for a snapback. Like you're just dying to drive, but you can't find the keys now. Looking for God, but you're down on your knees. I'm all that you want, but not what you need. Girl, why? Tell me, why do you still love me? Why do you love me? You know you shouldn't love me. Yeah, you still love me. But why do you need me when you know you don't need me? It's tearing you apart. I leave you broken and shaking, you still call me baby. Tell me, why do you still love? Why you love me? Why do you love me? You know you shouldn't love me. Yeah, you still love me. You still love me. Laying next to you, I got a flight in the morning. Got me questioning what I think is important. I can't even lie, think of you when I'm with her. Look me in my eye, tell me that you feel different. Drove 2 hours just to stay the night with you. Haven't seen you in a year, but I still get you. Hurts to see you leave, I'm stuck in the past, girl. Not willing to let it all go. You can't ignore the fact, baby, you made me feel alive. The mother, I will put them to the side. So real, baby, look me in my eyes. There's so money, baby, you ain't even have to try. Now I'm running with you round East Lansing. Tito's in your dorm, we're dancing. It's a 3:15, saying everything we mean. For a moment I was feeling like I had you. Didn't wanna leave, I had to. It's a 3:15, saying everything we mean.
Hey, what's up everyone? Happy Friday. Hopefully everyone had an amazing week. I have a new setup here with my audio chain, so let me know in chat if for any reason the audio sucks today. So actually let's do a test. All right. So this is microphone A and this is microphone B. Let me know which microphone you guys like best. All right, so I'll go back to A for now. Let me see here. So today we are going to be covering one of my favorite tools in my war chest, which is Kiterunner. Fuzzing APIs is going to be today's topic, specifically content discovery, and we'll talk more about the idiosyncratic nuances between those different tools. But there's different fuzzing tools available out there that all of you can use. Oh, awesome. Okay, great. We'll stick with A then. Thanks, guys and girls. Hey, Martin. Good to see you. I'll do my shout outs. Colin, good to see you. Jack Bawa, good to see you. Wardell, back in the his house. Ross, good to see you again. Amin, good to see you. Bufford, cool. Good to have you here. It's good to see everyone. Missed all of you. It's been a whole week. Corey, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Leonardo, good to see you. Cyber Clement. Looks like we've got a few new members that have registered today. Thank you for joining us. Paula, thanks for joining us. Yeah, so today's gonna be a really cool Shadow Academy. I'm really excited about it. You know, uh, here's the thing. Fuzzing is so important because it helps you understand and find um, it helps you in a black box pen test against APIs. I actually just recently finished a massive bank API pen test where there were hundreds of API endpoints, and I mean hundreds. And there wasn't any documentation on the APIs. Um, Content discovery tools like Kiterunner, doing content discovery really helps in finding routes. And we'll talk about the difference between, um, tools like Dirbuster and Kiterunner today. And I've actually took time out to create a PowerPoint for all of you. So don't ever say I don't love you, because that's love, baby. Creating a PowerPoint for you. But hey, George or Jorge, George, good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us. How you doing? Good to have all of you here. So yeah, fuzzing is really important in your API tool war chest. So I'm gonna walk you through in this pre-show party. I'm gonna actually walk all of you through what Kite Runner is and what fuzzing is and why it's important. Field mutation stuff like that. So that'll be this free pre-show stuff. I wanted to do something a little bit different during this pre-show party because I kind of felt bad. Those who were joining us and either can't sign up as a member or just coming to hang out. I felt like you needed to walk away with a lot more than just us hanging out and drinking coffee together. So I put this PowerPoint together to teach all of you fuzzing. And it's really interesting. This actually helped me in my Fire API test, where I was hacking those fast healthcare interoperability and resources, or Fire APIs. And so, fuzzing really helped me find some undocumented routes. And we'll talk about that as well. And as usual, throw your questions into chat. I'm going to give a quick rundown on what Shadow Academy is for those of you who've just joined us and who've signed up as new members. Thank you so much for joining the family. It's good to have you as part of Shadow Academy. Now, I'm going to give you the rundown really quick for Wardell and a lot of you who've come back and are members. You hear this every week, so I'm sorry. I'm going to regurgitate it again. But for the new people, so Shadow Academy is this crazy brain, like harebrained crazy idea I had to just actually install tools live and teach you how to use them live. Knowing that we could run into problems, knowing that we may have to Google and troubleshoot through some things. It just happens. It's a live stream, and we'll run into tools that there's issues on compiling on the new Apple Silicon and Apple Silicon, silicon. The M1 M2 chip. So there's just issues that we're going to run into, but we'll run into them together. Before every so the Shadow Academy is every Friday, and it's membership based, so it's $4.99 a month. And before that Shadow Academy class, where we move to that different URL, and I'm it's the URL scrolling on the screen right now. Um, Before we move there, we have this pre-show party for people that are not members. So we exist, so we're over there, and so where to go if you want to join Shadow Academy and be a part of these classes. So this is an opportunity for you to shadow me in hacking APIs and learning my tactics, techniques, and tools. And we've gone everything from installing and using mobile security framework and hacking iOS apps to now actually playing with Burp Suite in the last course, and now we're fuzzing. So yeah, Where I know it's crazy cool. Thanks, Colin. Crazy cool. I like that. That's a good word. Crazy cool. Um, Ross, that's a good point. Oh, can only I would think that the community tab uh would not. I would think the community tab would allow anyone to post. Let me look in the permissions on YouTube and find out if it's just a permission setting I have to turn on. I thought you all could actually post in the community forum as well, but I guess it may be only locked down to me. I'll check it out, Ross, and find out how you can do that. Totally random thought of the day. I messed up my neck this week. So for any of you, okay, so if you have an idea, if you saw my studio walkthrough video, you kind of remember how my studio was set up. Well, my monitor is actually on the kitty corner on the desk in front of me, and so yesterday I was editing the new film. As many of you know, we're going to be doing this Ransom premiere and premiering Ransom at AMC movie theaters at Black Hat Briefings on August 8th at 8 p.m. If you haven't yet gotten your ticket, you're going to Black Hat, definitely pick up your ticket. But I was editing the film and getting it ready, and my head was turned like this. And I kid you not, I sat here for like 8 hours editing that film with my head turned like that. And I didn't realize how much strain I was putting on my neck. And so my neck is freaking killing me. I've been like, I'm like taking painkillers, and I'm just freaking old. I'm just not as young as some of you where like, I'm 43. I've been around the block. I've been to the show. Anyway, I'm getting old. My neck feels like so. If I look all stiff and weird and I'm like this and I can't turn, that's why I hurt my neck. Just I didn't realize like how bad of an idea it is to just keep your head turned like this for like 8 hours straight and not move it. So anyway, didn't realize what I was doing to my neck, so that's why I look all weird right now with my neck. Okay, yeah, Jose, PowerPoint, serious business. But I swear it's not going to be death by PowerPoint. It's actually going to be a really cool PowerPoint, I promise. All right, so how about we actually get into the PowerPoint? Are you all ready? Are you sitting down? Do you have your coffee or your wine? For those of you, you made it to the end of the week. You made it. We're all hanging out together. You're hanging out with the list tonight. We're gonna like rock out Shadow Academy together and just have some fun. So get that coffee out. You're going to definitely need it. It's going to be it's going to be a doozy today. All right. So I called this running with kites. Now the interesting thing here is I actually wrote this really cool white paper on fuzzing APIs for Detectify, and it's called Running with Kites, and they never used it. So we ended up creating a brand new paper and a brand new series, and I'm actually going to publish this under Night Inc. Just because of how great of a paper it is. I think it's amazeballs. Actually, I'll show it to you guys and girls. Let me show it to you real fast so you can see this amazing work. That's not it. Yeah, look at this. Look how beautiful that is. That is just a beautiful white paper. Look how beautiful that is. And and I go through all this stuff, getting into the weeds on Kiterunner, throwing it at an Acme API, which was obviously a real API, but I sanitized it. Anyway, sending it to Burp Suite. It's a really great AP. It's a really great paper. I think I did an amazing job on it. I'm super sad that they I'm super sad that they didn't use it. Anyway, so we're gonna walk through the PowerPoint. Throw your questions and comments in the chat, and I will get to them. But let's get on with the show, man. Let's get on with the show. All right, where the heck is the things? How do you change slides? Why is it not working? Oh, okay. For those of you who are new followers of mine, you probably don't know how weird my PowerPoint photos are. I don't do the typical PowerPoint photos like I'm hacking connected cars, so I'm going to use car photos. No, I do something ridiculous and dumb and sometimes even creepy. I'm a photographer. I'm an artist. I love using really creative photos. Anyway, so that's if you're wondering what's with the creepy photos, that's why. I just like to use really creative photos in my PowerPoints that usually have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Anyway, So let's cover a few definitions. First of all, Kiterunner is a content discovery tool. Basically, what content discovery is it allows you to identify unlinked files and folders in a web application. So, meaning, so if you're using a content discovery tool against like a website, right, a traditional website, um, usually you'll see a really pretty web page there, right? And then you're using something like Dirbuster or some other tool, you can actually look for folders and files that might be existing. For example, a text file with a password in it, or a backup zip file containing settings files and stuff like that. But it's basically discovering content that the webmaster or the web designers did not expect you to find. So these tools will go through like a text file of typical website directories and files. So that's what content discovery is it's looking for files and folders that really shouldn't have been there, and aren't linked to in the web page itself, right? So if the web page is Acme Insurance, and for some reason the webmaster uploaded a backup of the entire website as a backup.zip, you could use a content discovery tool to find that that backup.zip file. So that's what content discovery is. It's instrumental in any API penetration test. So all of you need to know how to fuzz APIs, and you need to make it a necessary evil or step in your API pen test. You need to know how to perform fuzzing. It's super important that you learn how to do it and learn how to use these tools, because it has saved me in so many API pen tests that I've done in the past, whether it was the Ford APIs or the Fire APIs or the bank APIs. um I can't tell you, and feel free to comment on the video in the comment section. Let me know if this is happening, but I mean, it's rare when I find a client that has thorough documentation on all their API routes, and endpoints that exist. I mean, especially when you're running into organizations now that have thousands of APIs, developers come and go, or subcontracted to, and just don't have time to document, or don't make time to document in order to meet that deadline. So what these tools do specifically, oh, you know what? I see my video window is covering the content. Let me see if I can move it. Let me see if I can move it. How do I move it? Can I move it? Maybe I'll just turn off my video for now. Can you guys hear me if I turn off my video? Hopefully it doesn't kill my audio. It feels like it feels like it does cut my audio. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm full screen. Okay, I put it full screen. Never mind. So, what Kiterunner will do is Kiterunner is a free open source tool that was downloaded, that you can download from GitHub. It's a free tool. It's a free project. What it does is the organization that created and maintains Kiterunner has actually culled thousands of potential routes from activelist.io, as part of this tool. So, you know how I said earlier, these content discovery tools will go through a text file of typical website directory and files? Well, with Kiterunner, when you're doing content discovery against an API, or fuzzing an API, you actually need something better than that. You need what is called a list of routes, or cull information from different Swagger files, also called open API files. So that's exactly what they did. Is they've culled thousands of these from across the internet, Swagger files from across the internet, and you can actually use that with Kiterunner, and it's just a typical list of routes that they've pulled from other open API specifications. A route within an API is basically a path to take to get specific information or data out of the API. So it's a path. So let me give you an example of that. So we'll get to that part, but there's several things I want to cover first. API documentation. So if you're asking me, okay, Alyssa, what's the difference between API documentation? I'll turn on my video whenever I'm not covering content. API documentation is not an API specification file, which is typically an open API file. Documentation is a reference manual in how the API behaves. It basically defines expected inputs and responses in plain English. It's something that the non-technical people can read and understand. So if you're talking to management or you're talking to someone that's not a developer that didn't write the API, they need to understand what this API does. What does the API expect to receive as stimulus? And then what's the expected response to that? And so that's what API documentation is for. An API specification file describes the API, defining all of its available endpoints and operations like put, delete, all of those verbs. We call it HP verbs, supported authentication methods, and even contact information. These are actually written in a specific language like YAML. I'm sure many of you have heard of YAML or JSON. Specifically in getting responses from an API, you'll typically see that formatted in JSON. But API verbs or methods specify a specific action for the API endpoint to perform. For example, get, post, put, patch, delete. This is really important, especially as we move further along in our API penetration testing, for all of you to understand the distinction between things like get, put. When I was doing the Forward API hacking, their API endpoint supported a number of different verbs. And so if post didn't work, I would try a put. And a lot of the things, for example, unlocking all of the car doors when I was hacking those police cars, those law enforcement vehicles or FBI vehicles, I would use the put verb, and it was like put/bin/lock. That would actually lock the doors. So just that put statement to the API endpoint would, from anywhere in the world, I could lock those doors of that law enforcement vehicle, or and delete. So if I deleted /bin/lock, and by the way, that's the route, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But delete /bin/lock, it would actually unlock the doors. So put would lock the doors, and delete would unlock the doors. Put and /bin/engine start would actually start the car, and delete /bin/engine start would actually stop the engine. So, and as long as you knew the VIN number, because of poor authorization controls in the APIs, as long as you knew the VIN and had that valid, string, go watch the YouTube video. It's great. But I've got 2 videos on my YouTube channel that show that. But as long as you knew that information, specifically that VIN, you could do that. So let's talk about some examples. So what I need all of you to understand is there's the base path and then there's the route. The base path is basically nightstudios.co, for example, or domain name, your TLD. So basically that's the base path. And then the route would be /v1/TV shows/scorched earth, or /v1/movies/scorched earth, whatever. That is the route. And so when I say that Kiterunner will grab this huge file of routes that Kiterunner will test against the API endpoint or base path, that is what I'm talking about, is those routes. Those route names like /v1/patient/a night, right? That's for example a route. So it's really important all of you understand what routes are. It's basically that the string of what would you call that? Just the route after the base path is the best way to explain it. So why is Kiterunner different from tools like Dirtbuster? Basically, Dirtbuster will use a flat file of directories of common paths, whereas ActiveList.io will codify word lists from Swagger files across the internet, like I described. Kiterunner can send its request through a proxy server for further manipulation instead of using Kiterunner's replay option. So this is really important for all of you to understand. There's actually 2 methods you can manipulate this. There's a replay function within Kiterunner. And then there's an option to actually send it directly to Burp Suite. So as many of you know, we installed Burp Suite in the last session, played with Burp Suite. We can actually send Kiterunner's requests through Burp Suite and then have that then go into Repeater, and we can manipulate the request within Repeater. So for those of you who love Burp Suite and love to play with it like I do, I typically don't use the replay function within Kiterunner. I typically will use it's just a switch you pass to it in order to send it to Burp Suite. Hey 06, good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, oh, and it's pretty cool. Go check out my YouTube video. There's 2 videos that I published on. In one of the videos, you can see me standing, and I obviously, because you can reach an API from anywhere, I didn't have to be standing there. But local law enforcement brought me in to demonstrate this. But you see, like, this huge row of police vehicles in front of me, of these police interceptor vehicles. And from my laptop, you can see me starting the engine of the car and actually locking and unlocking the doors. So if any of you are arrested, no, just kidding. Don't make me your first call. Ford has since fixed those vulnerabilities, by the way. Let's see. Oh, Owen, you got to buy yourself a laptop, man. Got to buy yourself a laptop. Get yourself a computer. But thanks for joining us anyway, even if you don't have a computer. Let's see. Cool. I mean, when would you teach how to bypass SSL pinning list? I'm so excited. Hey, I mean, sorry. Yeah, I know. We talked about using Frida, but I thought we had scheduled doing fuzzing this week. So what we'll do is we'll get through this fuzzing content discovery, and then in the next class we'll do Frida. All good. And then we can start playing around in Linux. Okay. So where was I? So things to note, be patient. You know, it took me 4 hours to get some great routes. I one of the things that hopefully a lot of you have picked up from this class in Shadow Academy is that, you know, you do need to be patient. It's a lot of the times, especially with content discovery, you got to set it and forget it. A lot of it is just, you know, getting that perfect a string for your command line to start Kiterunner, and then, you know, passing all the switches that you want to pass to it, and then just walking away and getting dinner or getting lunch or whatever. Dirtbuster, Burp Intruder, Kiterunner specifically made for RESTful APIs. Just remember that these tools are specifically designed for REST APIs. It's just something to note. Obviously, there's different types of APIs, including GraphQL, but just know that, you know, if you're going to be using Kiterunner, it's specifically designed for that. Traditional web applications, file names and directories are mapped to actual files and folders on the web server. So when you're looking at, you know, routes specifically, you need to understand that in traditional web applications, those slash, like, I don't know, slash Etsy slash password. Okay, as an example, like alyssaknight.com/Etsy/password. That's a direct route. I don't want to use the word route. It's a direct link to an actual file on Etsy, the Etsy password in the Etsy directory. Sorry, a friend of mine just arrived at our house and Ring is going off everywhere. So that's that. So that's on a traditional web application, right? So when you do like alyssaknight.com/Etsy password, it points to the actual file. With routes, so on APIs, there's a routes file. There's an actual routes file that points to a snippet of code instead of an actual file. So just so you know, and I guess like maybe later on in the class, I'll show you guys what this route, guys and girls, what this routes file looks like. But it's an actual file that contains all these snippets of codes for these routes. So it's something to think about. For example, /API/v1 is the actual API endpoint. All right. So installing, as with many things on macOS, as you'll find in this class, as you know, for those of you that are currently Shadow Academy members, I do everything on Mac OS, but we will cover Linux. And then moving on from Mac OS, we'll also cover Linux. So I installed Mac OS. We'll move on to Linux after that. And then yeah, so it's a simple 1 or 2 line install. We'll do that today. We're going to be using a homebrew. Sorry, someone's like blowing me up right now. But we'll install messed my brain up. Okay, I don't know. My wife is calling me over and over. I don't know what's going on. She knows I'm in this live stream. I don't know why she's calling me. Anyway, so we'll use homebrew to install Kiterunner, and then after that we'll do we'll install Go, and then we'll do sudo apt install Golang Go. And then Linux make build, and then we'll do this ln, which is a symbolic link. And then compiling the word list, and then this is the command to actually start Kiterunner. So kr scan, and then your list of hosts, for example, -w routes.kite -x20-j100 ignore length 1053. We'll talk about that, like for example, depth scanning. So you can actually tell Kiterunner to only go to a certain depth when it's doing that. They're just basically scan levels, so you can actually increase you just increase your run times and actually do them faster. So you're going to download large and small word lists, which are basically .kite files from the Kiterunner GitHub page. kr scan is the command line to scan the specific IP address, and then -w, and then your actual name of your routes file. One thing that I can tell you, I learned this the hard way because I forgot to pass my bearer token to Kiterunner. If you're working with an API that has implemented OAuth 2 and you're using it's using bearer tokens, oh my goodness, this place is like exploding right now. I don't know what's happening right now. So, oh my God, I'm sorry, everyone. So of course, like no one comes over today, but as soon as I start my live stream, everyone starts coming to the door and calling me. Okay. So kr scan is the command line, then the IP address that you're scanning, and then you pass it the name of the routes file. Remember to pass your bearer token. I forgot to do that. So if you pass the -h modifier to the Kiterunner command line, you can actually modify the header, meaning add header options to your API request with Kiterunner. So you would do -h, and I think it's just bearer space and then the bearer token. Kiterunner allows you to specify depth scan levels to run for faster runtimes. I did just mention this, but depth scan basically tells Kiterunner don't go beyond a certain number of subdirectories. So for example, or routes. So like, just scan within 2 sublinks or subroutes. And basically, think of it like in terms of a traditional web application. When you have maybe 50 subdirectories, you don't want it to keep checking all of those subdirectories and keep going and going and going to a never-ending spiral when you've got other, higher directories in the subtree waiting for you. So it basically tells Kiterunner don't go beyond 2 or don't go beyond 1 in order to speed that up. Alrighty then. This is just a screenshot of what that routes file looks like. So again, this is an example of this. I think this is actually taken from the routes file that I grabbed from installing Kiterunner. So here's the list of routes. And then, oh my goodness, dear God. Sorry. Alexa's like repeating everything Ring is doing. So actually, you know what? I think that Mel is not here right now, and I think my guest is just standing at the front door. So I apologize, everyone. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so my longtime friend, Chris Daniels, is actually here on the West Coast, and he's actually visiting us today. So I apologize about that, everybody. But he is here along with his dog Sam. For those of you, I don't know if any of you saw that night TV episode where I was interviewing, where I had Cristiano's on as a guest. We did that really funny picture or video of his dog, Sam, just falling asleep while standing up and then falling over. Anyway, it was super cute. Anyway, this is a screenshot of the routes file from Kiterunner. Here's a screenshot of an actual Fire API was attacking at Epic. So here you can see my actual command line kr space kb space replay, and I'm actually replaying a previous Kiterunner finding or attempt or request. And then this is me specifying the large route file. So they have two size route files. There's a large and small. I just like go big or go home, right? So I don't want to potentially miss anything. So I always use routes dash large. And then these are the different error codes. And this is the target. So, this is obviously 400 response, whatever. This is the actual base path that I was targeting, and then the route. And then, here's the actual ID, because you have to tell Kiterunner which request you want to replay. And then here's a screenshot of that actual request and that reconstructed request. Let me see. So this is a screenshot of me actually passing the request. I know, wasn't that ASCII art great, Owen? Oh my god, it brings me back to my BBS days. I'm telling you, I love seeing ANSI art. Who remembers ANSI art? Remember all those scrolling ice and acid ANSI pictures of the half naked women or whatever, and in bikinis or whatever, just made of nothing but colored blocks. I mean, it was unbelievable. These ANSI and ASCII artists were absolutely amazing. But if you're old enough to remember ANSI art like me in the BBS days, those were the days, man. All right. So this is basically just appending. If you append -- proxy equals to HP, and then just locals 8080 to Kiterunner, it will send its request through Burp Suite, allowing you to manipulate it and pass it to repeater, which we will do today in Shadow Academy. So yeah, stick around. Alrighty then. That was the last slide. You guys survived it. All right. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. We are going to hop over. Sorry, we went 5 minutes over. We're going to hop over onto the Shadow Academy URL below. Hopefully, all of you are members now. And so I will see all of you over there. Kara, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. I'll put some shout outs right now. Brian, good to see you. Owen, good to see you. Jose, good to see you. 06 again. Hello, hello. Corey, thanks for joining us. Jack. So that's it for the pre-show party. Again, this is the pre-show party, which is free, and you get to kind of learn more about Shadow Academy, learn more about me and what we do at Shadow Academy. And there's no cost for that. But if you go to my YouTube channel, join as a member for $4.99 a month, less than a cup of coffee. Then maybe less than you spend an entire month on a cup of coffee or coffee beans, whatever. Then you can have access to Shadow Academy. So on the YouTube channel for Listen Night, hit that join button and you can join all of us in just a few minutes over at this other URL. I'm going to go say hi to Chris, and I will say hi to him from all of you. So give me a couple minutes so I can go say hi to him, and I will see all of you in the Shadow Academy show in just a few minutes. I'm going to head over there now. If I don't see you over there, have a good day. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves, and